So yes, Niharika, please tell us about yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my name is Niharika Riwal. I have done my schooling from my hometown, Bhiwani, Haryana. Thereafter, I pursued political science honors from Lady Shri Ram College, University of Delhi. And I have completed my law from Campus Law Center, University of Delhi in the year 2021. And since 2021, I have been dedicatedly preparing for judicial services examination.
तो जैसे निहारिका आप हरियाणा से हो, तो आप हरियाणा जुडिशियल सर्विसेज में नहीं जाना चाहते?
Ma'am, it's been 10 years since I am staying and studying in Delhi only. So it's my aim to be got selected in Delhi Judicial Services and to serve here and settle in Delhi itself.
और जज क्यों बनना चाहते हैं निहारिका? जैसे आपने पॉलिटिकल साइंस में अपना ग्रेजुएशन किया है, सो व्हाट्स द रीजन कि आप जज बनना चाहते हैं? आपने लॉ किया।
Ma'am, initially my parents introduced me to this field of law, but gradually when I entered into Lady Shri Ram College, we had this paper that is your law and your rights, where I developed interest towards law. And when I finally entered into Campus Law Center, there my colleagues, my seniors and professors encouraged me to go for judicial services examination. And only after that I made up my mind to pursue this particular career and I started preparing for it.
लिटिगेशन करने का क्यों नहीं सोचा निहारिका?
Sorry, ma'am, I could not.
लिटिगेशन करने का क्यों नहीं सोचा आपने?
Uh, Ma'am, first and foremost reason is due to my physical mobility. I believe that this platform of judgeship will suit me better. Apart from that, there were concerns about my health also, due to which I preferred to go for judicial services, where I could serve by staying at a one particular place.
आपका फेवरेट सब्जेक्ट क्या है निहारिका?
Ma'am, it is Evidence Act of 1872, which is now Bharatiya Sakshi Adhiniyam 2023.
कंसेप्ट ऑफ रिलेवेंसी एंड एडमिसिबिलिटी क्या है, बता सकते हैं?
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, relevancy is usually the facts which are made relevant by the Indian Evidence Act 1872, which are contemplated under Section 5 to 55, while admissibility depends on the discretion of the judge, as Section 165 also talks about it, that only facts which are relevant and duly proved will be admissible in the court of law, and which facts are admissible and duly proved, this will depend on the discretion of the judge.
डाइंग डिक्लेरेशन का कॉन्सेप्ट बता सकते हो निहारिका? और डाइंग डिक्लेरेशन क्या एक सोल एविडेंस हो सकता है और कन्विक्शन ऑफ एन अक्यूज्ड?
Yes, ma'am. Section 32, subsection 1 of Indian Evidence Act provides for the concept of dying declaration, where a person dying, disclosing about his cause of death or any other incident in relation to his death is considered relevant by the court of law, because it is believed that no one would die with a lie on his lips, and on this basis this concept has been made relevant. Apart from that, uh, sole conviction can be based on dying declaration, but it is within the judicial purview, and it is always better to corroborate it with some other circumstantial evidences.
नीरज सर।
चलिए, ये बताइए मुझे कि जब हम बात करते हैं कॉम्पिटेंसी के बारे में विटनेसेस की, तो क्या हस्बैंड एंड वाइफ एक दूसरे के अगेंस्ट में कॉम्पिटेंट विटनेस होते हैं?
Sir, as regards to civil and criminal cases, with regard to other third parties, they can be competent witness, but as regards the case between husband and wife itself, the communication between them is privileged, so they can't be competent witness in such cases. However, an exception has been made in this case, that when a case is between husband and wife itself, then such things can be disclosed. But in any other case, the privileged communications can't be disclosed.
ओके। ये बताइए आप मुझे कि बर्डन ऑफ प्रूफ एंड ऑनर्स ऑफ प्रूफ क्या होता है?
Yes, sir. Sir, burden of proof is the general term which provides for the in various circumstances on which person and or on which party the burden of proof will lie. However, onus of proof, uh, sorry, sir, I am not able to recall the exact.
ठीक है। ये बताइए कि क्वांटम ऑफ प्रूफ की जब हम बात करते हैं तो अक्यूज के ऊपर क्या बर्डन होता है और प्रोसिक्यूशन के ऊपर क्या बर्डन होता है?
Sir, in criminal cases, prosecution has to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt, while in civil cases, it is usually based on preponderance of probabilities. While in criminal cases, accused only have to raise a reasonable doubt in the mind of court so as to his innocence and need not to prove his case beyond reasonable doubt.
ओके। ये बताइए कि अगर अक्यूज के द्वारा प्ली ऑफ एलिबाई का डिफेंस दिया जा रहा है तो प्ली ऑफ एलिबाई उसको कितना प्रूफ करना पड़ेगा, मतलब हाउ मच ही हैज टू प्रूव द प्ली ऑफ एलिबाई, प्रीपोनेंस ऑफ प्रोबेबिलिटी और बियॉन्ड रीजनेबल डाउट?
Sir, in case of plea of alibi, the accused has to just prove it as per the preponderance of probabilities, so as to make his presence at a particular place or his absence probable or improbable.
तो इट इज बियॉन्ड रीजनेबल डाउट और प्रीपोनेंस ऑफ प्रोबेबिलिटी?
Sir, it's
जस्ट
preponderance of probabilities.
ओके, ठीक है। आपको दूधनाथ पांडे का केस याद है?
Sorry, sir, I could not.
दूधनाथ पांडे वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ यूपी का केस याद है?
Yes, sir.
उस केस में क्या हेल्ड हुआ था?
Sir, in that case, before Hathi Park, in front of Hathi Park, the the person was deceased, and his sister went in same transaction to the police officer to file an FIR, where such FIR held to be as a relevant fact as per Section 6 of Indian Evidence Act.
और विथ रिगार्ड टू प्ले ऑफ एलिबाई कुछ इस केस में हेल्ड हुआ था?
Sir, I am not able to recall it right now. I am sorry, sir.
ओके। रजिस्ट्रे किस तरीके का एविडेंस है, मतलब क्या प्रॉब्लम है रजिस्ट्रे को एविडेंस के रूप में एडमिट करने में? शॉर्टकमिंग्स क्या है रजिस्ट्रे की?
Sir, can I have a moment to think about it?
यस।
Thank you, sir. Sir, with Reskiaski, the problem that could arise uh, could be that it is more based on the facts heard by or seen by the third parties who could not have seen the main accident or the main crime at the moment, but could even have seen the reaction of bystanders or accused frightening from the place of crime, etc. So that could be one problem with rest checking.
ओके, चलिए ये बताइए कि डाइंग डिक्लेरेशन के रिस्पेक्ट में इंडियन लॉ एंड जो इंग्लिश लॉ है दोनों में क्या डिफरेंस है?
Sir, as per Indian law, dying declaration even even without anticipation of death is admissible, is relevant in court of law, while as per English law, dying declaration will be relevant only when it is made with anticipation of death.
और
Sorry, sir.
इसके अलावा और क्या?
Sir, I am not able to recall exactly, but if you allow me to guess, I think, thank you, sir. It is something related to in Indian law, it is allowed that it will be considered as dying declaration if it is regarding the cause of death or any other circumstance or transaction that leads to the cause of death. But I think in English law, it should be only pertaining to the cause of death only. Only then it will be relevant as a dying declaration.
ये बताइए, क्या इंडिया में सुसाइड वाले मामलों में डाइंग डिक्लेरेशन रेलेवेंट होता है?
Yes, sir.
ओके, ठीक है। चलिए, मुझे ये भी बताइएगा कि जब हम बात करते हैं 313 सीआरपीसी एग्जामिनेशन के बारे में, एविडेंशियल वैल्यू क्या है उस एग्जामिनेशन की?
Sir, under Section 313 of Criminal Procedure Code, court has to mandatorily examine the accused after the prosecution evidence is over, and its evidentiary value is that the court can only take into consideration the facts disclosed by accused, but sole reliance cannot be placed on such examination as it is done without oath and it is not an evidence per se. It is only done to uh, clear the doubts created by the prosecution evidence against the accused and to give him opportunity to present his side, his or her side also.
ठीक है, ठीक है निहारिका, दैट्स इट फ्रॉम माय साइड।
Thank you, sir.
निहारिका, ये बताओ, इंसल्टिंग द मॉडेस्टी ऑफ अ वुमन एंड आउटरेजिंग द मॉडेस्टी ऑफ वुमन, इन दोनों में क्या अंतर है?
I am sorry, ma'am. I am not able to recall the difference right now.
कोई बात नहीं। अच्छा, ये बताओ, मान लो एक 7 साल का बच्चा है और ऑर्फन है, उसके पेरेंट्स वगैरह कोई भी नहीं है, ऐसे बच्चे को उठाकर कोई ले जाता है, यहाँ पर किस तरीके का अपराध हुआ है?
Ma'am, it would be covered under kidnapping.
क्यों ही किडनैपिंग क्यों होगा?
Because, ma'am, the child is under 18. In case of boys, it should be a child under 18 years of age. And in case of girls, it should be 16 years of age. Uh, kept, that person who has been quarantined away or taken away out of the guardianship of the uh, guardian or parent.
यहाँ पर तो कोई गार्जियन है ही नहीं।
But ma'am, in this case, such orphan because state has the parents' patria jurisdiction over such orphan child, so it will be covered. So they will be considered to be under the guardianship of. Sorry, ma'am. I am not.
ये बताइए, अबडक्शन क्यों नहीं हो सकता?
Yes, ma'am. I am sorry that it will be a case of abduction because in that case, it is not required that someone is enticed or taken away from the guardianship. Rather, in that, if any force, etc., is used on the person to move him from one place to another, in that case, it will be a case of abduction, ma'am.
पुलिस रिपोर्ट एंड कंप्लेन में क्या डिफरेंस होता है?
Sorry, ma'am, I could not hear the
पुलिस
question.
रिपोर्ट एंड कंप्लेन में क्या डिफरेंस होता है?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, police report is the report filed by police after the investigation, etc. While complaint is generally made by a person aggrieved when maybe police is not writing the FIR. So complaint is filed directly to the magistrate, while police report is filed by the police officials after due inquiry, due investigation.
एंड आपके सबसे केस डायरी क्या होता है?
Ma'am, case diary is the diary maintained by police officer while investigating any offense in which he or she has to write about the day-to-day minutes details that he done in furtherance of the investigation. For example, the sites visited, witnesses examined, etc.
will end your interview here, Niharika.